You may think you know what you're dealing with, but believe me, you don't. Why is that funny?
It's what the district attorney used to tell me in Chinatown.
Chinatown is a 1974 neo-noir film directed by Roman Polanski that would find box office success, very high acclaim, and would be considered by many to be one of the greatest movies ever made. In September 1937, Jake Gittes, played by Jack Nicholson, is a former police officer working as a private investigator in Los Angeles, California. Jake's associate, Lawrence Walsh, played by Joe Mantell, introduces him to a woman named Evelyn Mulray, played by Diane Ladd. She hires Gittes to trail her husband Hollis, played by Daryl Zwirling, whom she suspects is having an affair.
My husband, I believe, is seeing another woman.
No, really?
I'm afraid so.
I am sorry.
Mr. Gittes, please, do you think we could discuss this alone?
What makes you certain that your husband is, involved with someone?
A wife can tell.
Mrs. Mulray, do you love your husband?
Yes, of course.
Then go home and forget everything.
But
I'm sure that he loves you too, Mrs. Mulray. Do you know the expression, let sleeping dogs lie? You're better off not knowing.
I have to know.
Very well. What is your husband's first name?
Hollis. Hollis Mulray.
Water and Power?
He's chief engineer.
After Jake gets photographs of Hollis with a young woman, the photos appear in the Los Angeles Times. Jake is soon confronted by the real Evelyn Mulray, played by Faye Dunaway.
Hey, what's the matter with you? You're screwing just like a Chinaman. Jesus. That Barney.
Mr. Gittes,
Yes.
do you know me?
Well, I think I would have remembered.
Have we ever met?
Well, no.
Never.
Never.
That's what I thought. You see, I'm Mrs. Evelyn Mulray. You know Mr. Mulray's wife?
Not, that Mulray.
Yes, Mr. Gittes, that Mulray. And since you agree with me that we've never met before, you must also agree with me that I've never hired you to do anything, certainly not spy on my husband. I see you like publicity, Mr. Gittes. Well, you're going to get it.
She threatens to sue Gittes after her impostor used him to discredit her husband Hollis, who is the chief engineer at the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power. When Jake's former colleague, Los Angeles Police Lieutenant Lou Escobar, played by Perry Lopez, pulls the body of Hollis out of a local reservoir, Jake is hired by Evelyn to investigate her husband's death. Jake soon discovers that large amounts of water are being released from that reservoir every night, despite a drought and water shortages. He is confronted by Water Department Security Chief Claude Mulvihill, played by Roy Jensen, and has his nose slashed by one of Mulvihill's henchmen, played by Roman Polanski.
You're a very nosy fellow, kitty cat, huh? You know what happens to nosy fellows? Huh? No? Wanna guess? Huh? No? Okay. They lose their noses. Next time you lose the whole thing. Cut it off and feed it to my goldfish. Understand? Understand?
I understand, Gittes.
I understand.
So some contractor wants to build a dam and he makes a few payoffs. So what? Think you can nail Mulvihill? They'll claim you were trespassing.
Don't want Mulvihill. I want the big boys that are making the payoffs.
Then what do you do?
Sue the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gittes begins to uncover a conspiracy involving the California water wars that leads him down a trail of corruption and murder. It also leads him straight to Evelyn's father, Noah Cross, played by John Huston.
The bond issue passes Tuesday. There'll be $8 million to build an aqueduct and reservoir. I'm doing it.
Gonna be a lot of irate citizens when they find out that they're paying for water that they're not gonna get.
Oh, that's all taken care of. See, Mr. Gittes, either you bring the water to L.A., or you bring L.A. to the water.
How are you gonna do that?
By incorporating the valley into the city. Simple as that.
How much are you worth?
I've no idea. How much do you want?
No, I just want to know what you're worth. Over 10 million?
Oh, my, yes.
Why are you doing it? How much better can you eat? What can you buy that you can't already afford?
The future, Mr. Gittes. The future.
Jake confronts Evelyn about her father and learns that not only has he been corrupt, but he is likely guilty of murder. This film was written by Robert Towne, who wrote the screenplay with Jack Nicholson in mind for the lead role. Jack Nicholson is present in every single scene of this movie. The role of Evelyn Mulwray was originally intended for producer Robert Evans' wife, actress Ally McGraw. However, she lost the role when she divorced Evans for actor Steve McQueen. Julie Christie and Jane Fonda were also considered for the role. Ralph Bellamy turned down the role of Noah Cross. The role went to actor John Huston. At the time of filming, Jack Nicholson had just started a long relationship with John Huston's daughter, Angelica Huston. This made his scenes with her father uncomfortable, especially the scene where Noah Cross interrogates Jake Gittes and says, "Did you sleep with my daughter?"
Are you, sleeping with her? Come, Mr. Gittes. You don't have to think about that, remember, do you?
The original Chinatown was demolished between 1933 and 1936 to make way for Union Station in Los Angeles, California. The current Chinatown, which is located a few blocks away, opened in 1938. The only time that Los Angeles had no official Chinatown was 1937, the year in which the movie is set. Ironically, Jack Nicholson was born in 1937. The movie was filmed in Southern California from October 1973 to January 1974. The character of water and power engineer Hollis Mulwray is likely a play on the real-life head of the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power, William Mulholland. Mulholland brought the Owens River to Los Angeles. In March 1928, the St. Francis Dam failed just over 12 hours after Mulholland and his assistant gave it a safety inspection. 431 people were killed, and Mulholland's career was over. This event is referenced in the movie as the fictionalized Vanderlip Dam disaster. After several takes that never looked right, Faye Dunaway got annoyed and told Jack Nicholson to actually slap her in the face. He did it, and he felt guilty for it, despite it being Faye Dunaway's idea. The shot made it into the movie.
I said I want the truth.
She's my sister. She's my daughter. My sister, my daughter.
The only scene in the film in which Jack Nicholson, Faye Dunaway, and John Huston appear together is the last scene in the film. This is also the only scene in the movie that was set and filmed in Chinatown. At one point, Jack Nicholson told the public that he disliked the ending of the movie.
Evelyn, put that gun away. Let the police handle this.
He owns the police!
The famous line uttered by actor Joe Mantell,
Forget it, Jake. It's Chinatown.
"Forget it, Jake, it's Chinatown," is considered to be one of the most iconic famous movie lines in film history. The line can be seen as a metaphor for corruption, futility, shady backroom deals, and regret. Released into movie theaters in June 1974, Chinatown grossed a total of $29.2 million on a budget of just $6 million, making it a large box office success. At the 47th Academy Awards on April 8, 1975, Chinatown won Best Original Screenplay and was nominated for Best Picture, Best Costume Design, Best Sound, Best Cinematography, Best Art Direction, Best Film Editing, Best Director, Best Actor, and Best Actress. In 1991, this film was selected for preservation in the National Film Registry by the Library of Congress for being culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant to American history. The screenplay of this film is now considered one of the most perfect screenplays ever written, and is regarded as a main teaching point in many screenwriting seminars and classes all over the world. It frequently shows up on lists of the greatest movies of all time. This movie was very popular on television when I was growing up in the 1990s, and I always remember it just kind of being there. The same way I don't remember learning about Elvis or learning about the Beatles. They were always just kind of there. Chinatown was always just kind of there. It's a slow burn. It's not super fast-paced. It's not super action-packed, but it is so great. The acting, the cinematography, it looks like 1937. It is really well done. Personally, I typically give a movie like this an 8-star rating, but because of the historic nature of the film as one of the greatest movies of all time, and the fact that the script is literally considered the textbook definition of a perfect movie screenplay, I'm going to give 10 stars to the 1974 classic, Chinatown.